Shalom, sister, and welcome to another Lioness Liberty lesson. Today we are looking at the next piece of armor in the armor of Yah. So this is part 3 of the Gird Yourself series. Before we begin, we give all praise and glory and honor to the Most High Yah in the name of Yeshua HaMashiach, and pray that He bless and guide us in this lesson for our edification, and that His spirit of understanding might be poured out upon us, that we can seek His truth and follow His commands. So, continuing on with looking at Ephesians in this armor of Yah, we are now going to be taking a deeper look at the belt of truth. So this is still Ephesians chapter 6 verse 14, and it reads, "Stand therefore, having your loins girded about with truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness." So, the belt of truth. So, looking again at the physical function of a belt and trying to apply the physical function to a spiritual understanding, right? Because this is a spiritual battle that we are fighting, and therefore this is a spiritual armor that we are putting on. But they're using physical properties to basically expound upon this spiritual understanding. And so physically, a belt is used to uphold or secure your armor, right? And it also is used to hold the weapon or the sword of choice. So it upholds and it secures. So applying this now to a spiritual understanding, what are we are being upheld and taught by the Spirit of truth. So truth is our security. Truth is how we are upheld during these end times and during this spiritual warfare that we are waging as disciples of Yeshua. And so we also know that the way, the truth, and the life is Yeshua HaMashiach. So once again, this is all going back to our rock and our foundation, who is our salvation, Yeshua HaMashiach. So we are upheld by His truth, and we are taught by this truth. And this is our security and our rock to stand upon in these times. So looking at John chapter 14 and reading verses 4 through 6. "You know where I am going, and you know the way." Thomas said to him, "Our Yahuwah, we do not know where you are going, and how can we know the way?" Yeshua said to him, "I am the way, and the truth, and the life. No man comes to my Father except by me." And so we see here in Scripture, Yeshua explicitly stating that He is the truth. And then looking at John chapter 8, verses 31 to 32. "Then Yeshua said to the Hebrews who believed in Him, 'If you abide by my word, you are truly my disciples, and you will know the truth, and that very truth will make you free.'" So, this truth that sets us free, this truth that we stand upon in firmness and that upholds us in our spirit, is His word, because His word is truth. And we find the truth and seek the truth through His word. And through that we are set free. And then looking at Joshua chapter 24 verse 14. "Now therefore, fear Yahuwah and serve Him in sincerity and in truth, and put away the gods which your fathers served on the other side of the flood, and in Egypt serve ye Yahuwah." So we are instructed to serve the Most High in truth as well. So now taking a moment to look at the word truth. So in Joshua, this word truth that is referred to in the Strong's Concordance is emet. And faithfulness, assurance, a surety, a verity, truly. So it has a relationship to firmness, faithfulness, sureness, reliability, stability, continuance, faithfulness, reliableness, truth as a body of ethical, religious knowledges, true doctrine, so true word. So through this definition, we see that in Joshua 24:13, where he instructs us to serve him, to serve the Most High in sincerity and truth. It's to serve him on a consistent, on a faithful basis, with a reliable relationship to him, without turning away to other gods, the gods which our forefathers have known and worshipped since ancient times. And just because they are a tradition of our fathers and our mothers does not mean that they are righteous and good, but we must use that spirit of discernment to and seek the truth in order to serve the Most High and him alone. And then also looking at the online etymology dictionary in the word truth, we see again this relationship to faithfulness or fidelity. So Old English trude, West Saxon or trude, which in Mercian, faithfulness, fidelity, loyalty, veracity, a quality of being true, a pledge, a covenant. From Germanic abstract noun truitho, from Proto-Germanic chuaz, having or characterized by good faith, to be firm. Okay, so the root is deru, to be firm, solid, or steadfast. So we see here this correlation of truth to a faith or a fidelity or loyalty to a covenant. To worship and serve the Most High in sincerity and truth is to be faithful and loyal to the covenant that we have made and agreed to with him. So relying on him and his covenant, his promise to us, his promise of salvation, in good faith. So to be firm, to be solid, steadfast, the sense of something that is true, accuracy, correctness. And then looking at the root here, the root meaning firm, solid, steadfast, with specialized senses, wood, tree, and derivatives referring to objects made of wood. So word being a solid or a firm physical object. So, and then we see different words that come out of this root, deru, and we see betrothed, which is interesting because we saw further up that truth had to do with a fidelity or faithfulness to a covenant. And we've also seen in the series The Mystery of Man and Woman that our relationship and covenant to the Most High Yah is a betrothal. It is a marriage of sorts. So it is a faithfulness to our marriage contract to him. It is our betrothal. And then we also see other words, druid, durable, duration, endure. So it is a long-standing, a firm faithfulness and fidelity. So now continuing on, we are now going to be reading from John chapter 4, and we'll be reading verses 21 through 24. Yeshua said to her, "Woman, believe me, the time is coming when neither on this mountain nor in Jerusalem they will worship the Father. You worship what you do not know, but we worship what we do know. For salvation is from the Hebrews. But the time is coming, and it is here, when the true worshipers shall worship the Father in spirit and in truth. For the Father also desires worshipers such as these. For Yah is spirit, and those who worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth. So this is a concept that has been spoken of since the time of Moses, for even Joshua spoke of the instruction to serve the Most High in sincerity and in truth. And Yeshua confirms this teaching again, that we are meant to worship the Most High in spirit and in truth. For it does not take a physical place to worship the Most High and to seek Him in sincerity and truth, but it takes a true heart and a earnest spirit, a contrite spirit. And it is not a physical location that establishes worship, but it is a spirit and a truth. So it is a seeking for His spirit and seeking for His truth in the ways that He desires us to worship Him according to His way, rather than the traditions of our mothers or fathers. Just because they are traditions does not mean that they are good. Just as we see in Joshua, that instructing us to worship in truth is to steer us away from these traditions of our forefathers and our ancestors. And again, in Proverbs chapter 23, verse 23, we see, buy the truth and sell it not. Also wisdom and instruction and understanding. So truth is a valuable asset to the spiritual warfare. Having truth, that is a light that shines in the darkness. It is a firm rock to stand upon in a sea of confusion. And then also Proverbs chapter 22, verses 20 through 21. It reads, have not I written to thee excellent things and counsels and knowledge, that I might make thee know the certainty of the words of truth, that thou mightest answer the words of truth to them that send unto thee. So this word of truth is the scripture and is the word that proceeds from the mouth of the Most High. Do not believe any man or woman in the things that they say, including I myself, but seek the word and the scripture of the Most High, for the word remains true, and that is where you will find truth. And there is no question when you seek for yourself and see the word of truth. There is no gray matter when you can look for yourself and see what is the truth, rather than listening to someone else. For honestly, only the word of Yah remains a pillar of truth. So lastly, looking at Isaiah chapter 59, verses 15 through 16. Yeah, truth faileth, and he that departeth from evil maketh himself a prey. And Yahuwah saw it, and it displeased him that there was no judgment. And he saw that there was no man, and wondered that there was no intercessor. Therefore his arm brought salvation unto him, and his righteousness, it sustained him. So in these last days truth faileth, and those that speak and seek the truth are persecuted. And we're seeing that happen in this day, that as you are awakened unto the truths of the Most High, you are constantly feeling more isolated from the rest of society that is going along with this mainstream narrative that has a lot of falseality and deception intermingled with him. The wickedness of this earth is running rampant, and they are twisting historical narratives and keeping certain truths hidden away, but the time is coming that they are being revealed. And so the information is available to us and to some extent right now, and so we need to pray to the Most High for the discernment of truth, because information being in surplus right now, we need to be able to discern truth from falseality. And that is why the belt of truth is such an integral part of the armor of the Most High, and that we are upheld in our spirit and are able to have a firm rock to stand upon by the truth, the word of truth of the Most High, which is His scriptures, and which is the words that proceeded from his mouth. So stand therefore, having your loins girded about with truth, and let it uphold you, and uphold your faith in firmness, fidelity, and loyalty to the Most High Yah. Give him all praises always, for he is mighty and awesome in all ways. And with that, have a blessed rest of your day. Grace and peace be with you.